everyone, and welcome to the How to Revise for A-Level Geography with the top 5 tips, with the fifth being the most important. So, and this, guys, is that time of year again for exams, time to lock in, and again, I am going to make a top 5 video for you guys. So, top 5 optimal methods, or 5 methods to make your life easier this exam season. So before we get in, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. It's a great achievement, and yeah, hopefully we can hit 1 million very soon. But let's move on. So, what should you be thinking right now? You've got 10 days to exam. I've been recently told you need to be thinking about A-level geography is actually not that much content, and it's the idea that the more you sit, the more you get cooked, and it is now or never. Okay, just the quick things. You gotta put things into reality or perspective. Blah blah blah. And you sitting there and watching a video such as this is a good start, but you're not actually revising. So another good tip is stop watching videos and actually get to doing. And I'll show you what you need to do. So step 1 is knowing what you need to know. And what I mean by this is you actually don't need to know everything for the exam. Instead, just focus on what you need to know. That is the smartest way to revise. And the easiest way to do this is to just look at the spec. So in A-level geography, your teacher's going to give you thousands of case studies for a topic. For just a small bullet point, they might give you 5 different points. And that is because they need to fill out one 1 hour lesson. Realistically, you could teach you A-level geography very quickly, but they need to spread it across 2 years. So what I want you to do is to get the spec up from the edXL exam board and literally just annotate. Each of these points needs to be annotated, and if you don't understand a point in the spec, then just go back in your notes and go back in your notes and fill the gap in knowledge. Or you can just watch further into this video where I'll show you how to access where to find the stuff or where to find the database where all of this information in the spec is. And again, I need to stress to you guys, don't spend all your time revising case studies. Yes, it's vital. Yes, it's very important. But if you actually step back and realize 10% of what you're doing is actually case studies, because it's literally maybe 3 lines max in an essay, and then you don't use it anymore. Okay, it's more about how you explain, how you develop those points. So yeah, this is step 1. Okay, so the next tip is exam practice and techniques. So after you've identified what you don't know and what you need to know, and roughly know which ones, and you've developed on them and you've sorted out all the case studies for every point on the spec, now you need to apply this. That is the most important part. And again, how much do I need to stress? Revising is not highlighted in red, looking over case studies. You just need to practice exam techniques where I have taken my time to make 12 and 20 mark videos for you guys, where I teach some crazy revolutionary strategies. And yeah, I just can't stress, you need to just open up that exam paper and just do it. That is the best way to do things. And one of the greatest tips I give to people, contrary to what people say or teachers don't really like sometimes, is literally just copy. Copy the greatest examples out there. And yeah, it might be out of my place to say, but I don't think the A-level geography exam actually tests how intelligent you are. Yeah, you could write the best essay, but it'll be completely out of the mark scheme, and perhaps the examiner might not like it and might not see it to fit the mark scheme, so they'll mark you down. So what I'm trying to say is, don't try too much. Obviously, think different, try to be a bit different in some aspects, but you can't stray away from the mark scheme too much. Otherwise, the examiners can make the argument that you don't really follow any of the AOs or assessment objectives. So this is why I say geography is a more formulated than any STEM subject I've done, especially with doing A-level maths and A-level physics. I thought that geography was the most formulated out of all of them, which might come as a surprise to you. And it is because there's always a framework on how you should answer questions. And you literally just copy and follow that framework and you apply different case studies, which I highlight in my 12 and 20 marker videos. So therefore, my advice to you is to copy all the good examples you can find and implement any phrases, techniques, or wording they used. And here's an example just taken from the examiner's marked example response. I just took a random one that I was awarded 6 out of 6 marks. And what I want you to do is just go through loads of these and then point out what have they done well and read what the examiner say they've done well. And after you've read this, I want you to think, oh, I'm going to apply this to my own question. This is what you should be doing, especially because examiners are looking for the same good answers. Okay. Now, step 3. Now that you've identified, you've looked at the exam practice and the techniques you need to use, just copying good examples. Now it's time to place it into action. And before you actually, what a good way of exam practice is to actually know how much time you have. It is good and all doing exam practice, but if you don't do it under time conditions, you're not going to do well in the exam, unfortunately. And hence why you should devise a time plan such as this. So if I am correct, and this should be correct, but it's around 135 minutes for 105 marks. And you just need to make a mental note of how long you're going to take for a 12 marker and how long for a 20 marker. And as explained in my previous videos with the 12 and 20 markers, we should typically take between 12 and 20 minutes and 20 to 25 minutes for the 20 markers. And ideally, the 4 to 6 markers should take less than a mark a minute, so around 4 or 5 minutes. And so you can gain some time back to do the big questions. But I cannot stress, you need to have an idea of timings. Otherwise, you will not do well. And you could make the best essay, but take 40 minutes to write it, and you'll be completely screwed over for the rest of the paper. So yeah, have an idea. It is best to, if you run out of time, also good. If you've gone too long over one question, you should just go on to the next one. That is my tip for you guys. And yeah, here's the pro exam tip 1. For large mark questions, always note down the time you will stop. So if you're starting a 12 marker at 1 o'clock, let's say, it means that you must finish this question by 1:20 max. So I had a digital board. Guys, don't worry if your maths isn't great, just roughly note down how long it'll take. And yeah, it's a great way of just keeping track of time. And pro exam 2, always plan your large mark questions in 1 to 2 minutes beforehand. So talking to some of you guys, a lot of you guys actually don't plan your question answers, which is absolutely diabolical. It is crazy. You guys are not like, you could. The reason why I tell you to plan your question is a lot of you guys have told me, oh, but I've been doing fine so far without planning my question. On exam day, sometimes the pressure really gets to you, and you need to stay focused. And having this plan of what you're going to write in the essay will always keep you on track. So it's just a 1 to 2 minute thing, perhaps even 1 minute if you're really quick with it, to make your life 10 times easier when you're halfway through that essay and you have that mental block of what you forgot what you're writing about. So yeah, keeps you on track and makes it so much easier as you progress into an essay. And with the exam practice, with planning essays, I'll just quickly show or emulate what you want to do in an exam. Alright, so here we are on Word. So obviously you're going to be in a real exam. And on paper, so this is just like an emulation. I don't have the capacity to film. Okay, but this is taken from the 2023 paper 1, and this is the tectonic section. Now, what I want you guys to notice is, what should you be doing? What would you usually do? For me, what I did was, straight away, I would look at the time. So, for example, if the time was 1 o'clock, that's 1300, put a little arrow saying by 1:20, I would have to finish the 12 marker. And then straight away, I would highlight the key terms, or key phrases. So, assess the effectiveness of strategies used to manage the impacts of volcanic hazards. So, what do you guys think would be the keywords? Well, for me, it would obviously be strategies, and then hazards and impacts. Straight away, I'd highlight all of them, and then straight to my plan. Intro, define hazard. Is how you spell hazard? Yes, that is how you spell hazard. Define hazard. That would be the biggest thing for me. / strategy, if you really want to go in a bit more detail. And then P1, what would I talk about? Just think for a second. It should be the first thought. Don't think too hard about this stuff. Sometimes you just need to think the first thing that comes into your head. And sometimes when you read this question, it should become obvious what they're really asking for. And straight away, not having done A level geography for a couple of years, from what I can remember, you'd obviously want to talk about mitigation strategies. And then paragraph 2, you also want to talk about what's it called, adaptation strategies. So mitigation, if I remember, was more like hard engineering, and adaptation was sort of, if I'm correct, more of soft engineering. And then paragraph 3, more of a mixed approach, more mixed approach. Okay, that is my plan and then conclusion. If you watch my 12th marker, I have the formula to conclusion and spatial/temporal. And then, yeah, I usually highlighted this to make sure, or not highlight, but circle this to make sure I always use this argument, the spatial and temporal argument, to make sure I'm assessing properly. So yeah, that is all you have to do for a plan. It's literally to note down the time. So let me give you, I guess, a breakdown of what you need to do. So 1, you need to do for time to finish, and then plan essay. That are the 2 things you need to do. And then watch my 12 marker and 20 marker video. This spatial/temporal argument, if you watch the video, should be relatively simple. But yeah, all you have to do for a plan. And if you even want to go into further detail, and this is how I probably did it in like 1 minute max, you could perhaps even go more like, e.g., I've forgotten the case studies, but I remember there was like some Italian volcanic barrier or something. And then it was like 1980 something, 1983, let's say. And then adaptation, again, do the same thing with another case study, and a mixed approach, do something with a case study. And then if you really want to go even further in detail with the conclusion, you can literally pick one straight away, and it says mitigation. You can argue mitigation is strongest or long term. And that is all you have to do for a plan. A lot of you guys, I remember emailing me asking how long the plan has to be. This is it. Okay, this is all I want you to write, and this should take 1 minute max, 1 to 2 minutes, and you should be straight onto the intro after this. So yeah, here's a little guide on what you should do when you plan. All right, so the next tip, a bit of a different one, is to use Anki. So I have actually compiled all my notes into Anki decks for you guys to use, which I have every deck with the link in the description. And essentially, how to use Anki is literally just a flashcard simulator, and you just need to do space repetition with the exam. But since it is exam season, you probably should cram these flashcards if you really don't know what's going on. And yeah, just try to do 2 to 3 sets of these flashcards every day, and so you can recall every single case study. So if you're in a position where you don't know any case studies, which is obviously not great, it is not the end of the world. I have every case study you should need to know. I've been told there haven't been a few spec changes, so be wary of that, because I made it for 2023, and I believe they changed it last year slightly. So yeah, just do my flashcards often and you should be good, and I'll just give you literally a little run through of what you should expect when you download my decks. Oh yeah, quick thing, I forgot to tell you guys, but if you actually press browse on the screen before at the top somewhere there, you can actually look at, what's it called? Look at this stuff. And what I mean by this stuff is you get to see the whole database here. And if you do have gaps in your knowledge, for example, you don't know what the definition of globalization is, you can just type like keywords here. Okay, definition of globalization, we already have it right here. But let's see, impacts. We'll look at impacts. Impacts of globalization. And yeah, we have all the case studies you need for it. So what I mean is you can also use this as a search tool to complement your own knowledge. For example, coastal plate tectonics, you don't know how a subduction zone works, for example. How does subduction works? Apologies. You can, subduction explained, I have it right here. So you can also use this as a search tool specifically for geography if you just go into the deck here. So yeah, enjoy it and make sure you use it properly. Yeah, so welcome to Anki. So once you've downloaded Anki, which I'll also link the download link in the description, it is literally just a flashcard app. And yeah, here are all my human geography and physical geography decks. So if I don't have your decks, unfortunately, I didn't do those during A levels. But just like a glimpse of what you will get in the flashcards is stuff like this: impacts of coastal realignment at Blackwater Estuary. And then I should have pressed this button, and you should have, yeah, literally for flashcards. And yeah, just use this for space repetition, and you should be good. So here are just some other things. So Kiribati case study, and then also have delta working, mass movement, what is it, sediment cells, physical location, how does it affect flooding. So yeah, I have a lot of like case study things, and they should all link to a part of the spec. So yeah, and another thing is if you press this cog sign options, since it's so close to exams, I would mess around and play with these daily limits. And yeah, by doing so, you can actually do these flashcards every day. And if not, there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube you can find on how to change it so you can do these cards every day. So yeah, link in the description. Make sure you use them properly, and yeah, good luck with them. Now, here's the final tip, which is the most important one, and it's just to like and subscribe. Okay, apologies, guys. A maths teacher did this to me 2 years ago, just paying the feed forward. But yeah, like and subscribe. Some new content will come out. And yeah, here's some additional steps. Watch some motivational videos, and I believe it is part of the top 10 reasons why I got an A star is because I watched these videos. And yeah, this specific video, I don't know why it resonated with me. It didn't really resonate with me, but I just thought it was pretty funny watching it before going to the exams. And yeah, just watch it, and enjoy the process. So yeah, any final questions, ask me on my email or using the Instagram link in description. And going forward with the channel, I believe I will be doing a bit more short form content since I have my own exams at the moment. So yeah, I'll be doing like quick essay plannings, how to plan essays, how to quickly plan them, blah blah blah. You get the gist of things. So yeah, look, keep your eyes peeled for those, and I'll see you guys in the next.